Hello there, I'm Raymond Goh and you're watching Nightline. The headlines today. Dr. Shahruddin sworn in as new Johor Menteri Besar. And ECRL tickets to be subsidized by the government. Thanks for joining us. The new Johor Menteri Besar, Dr. Shahruddin Jamal, on Sunday said the people will be his priority in carrying out his duties and responsibility as Menteri Besar. According to Dr. Shahruddin, at the same time, he will carry out a portfolio reshuffle in the state government's administration.
Saya akan cuba menggalas amanah yang diberikan kepada saya dengan sepenuh hati untuk memastikan kemajuan negeri Johor, dan yang penting sekarang ialah rakyat. Kita ingin memastikan rakyat negeri Johor dapat menikmati segala kemajuan ataupun pembangunan yang telah kita rancangkan.
He was speaking at a media conference at Johor's Parti Bersatu office in Kempas. Also present were Pakatan Harapan component party leaders and former Menteri Besar Dato' Osman Sapian. All Pakatan Harapan leaders present also pledged to support Dr. Shahruddin as the 17th Johor Menteri Besar.
Memang apabila terjadi perubahan pucuk pimpinan, memang akan ada perubahan portfolio, di mana Datuk Man ada tim dia. Saya pun ada tim saya. Jadi saya akan memilih YB yang saya selesa bekerja dengan YB itu, dan untuk memastikan sekarang yang lebih penting ialah macam mana kita dapat membantu masyarakat untuk memastikan masyarakat dapat segala kemudahan apa yang telah kita rancangkan sebelum ini.
According to Dr. Shahruddin, he will submit the list of exco names to the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, in the near future. Earlier, the 43-year-old Dr. Shahruddin Jamal was sworn in as the 17th Johor Menteri Besar before the Sultan of Johor, Sultan Ibrahim Almarhum Sultan Iskandar, at 9:30 a.m. According to Sultan Ibrahim's Facebook page, the Bukit Kepong Assemblyman received a letter of appointment and took his oath of office in the ceremony of the submissions of the letter of appreciation and the declaration of the appointment of the Johor Menteri Besar at the ceremony held at Istana Bukit Serene. Also present were the Tunku Mahkota of Johor, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, and Sultan Ibrahim's son-in-law, Dato' Dennis Muhammad Abdullah. Dr. Shahruddin, who was previously the State Health, Environment and Agriculture Committee Chairman, replaces Dato' Osman Sapian, who resigned on April 8th. Sultan Ibrahim, in the meantime, said Dr. Shahruddin needs to prioritize the state's interests rather than self-interest and politics for the well-being of the people and the prosperity of the state's economy. In a statement on Sunday, Sultan Ibrahim said he hopes Dr. Shahruddin is able to carry out his responsibility with honesty, sincerity and trust while putting the interest of the state as his focus. The Sultan also advised the state government not to spend too much time talking about non-beneficial things besides slander and fabricating stories just to grab attention and confuse the people. According to Sultan Ibrahim, the Johor government has long been established and has its own culture and way of administrating itself. He added those on the outside do not have to start talking about who has the power and how to administer the state. The Sultan also wants Dr. Shahruddin to focus on river pollution issues to ensure raw water sources are always clean and able to last for a long time. A good leader will put aside ego and rectify mistakes if it will benefit those he leads. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said ego tended to make people not see their mistakes or refuse to admit them, hence they would not be able to correct them.
When
Speaking at an open dialogue with youth titled Youth Ask, Tun Answers at the Perdana Leadership Foundation on Sunday, Tun Dr. Mahathir said young leaders need to differentiate between ego and determination, as some are of the opinion that ego can be positive, as it can drive one to be competitive.
One value you can do without is ego. Some are of the opinion that ego can be positive, as it drives you to be competitive. That, to me, is more likely to be determination. Ego is about self and not those you lead. Ego tends to make us unable to see our mistakes or refusal to admit them. Then we will not be able to correct them if we do not acknowledge them. To my mind, a good leader will put aside his ego and rectify his mistake if he will benefit those whom he leads.
On youth development, he said the current leaders faced a challenge to figure out what would be the best policies and programs that would prepare the youth for the future. Tun Dr. Mahathir said there was a delicate balance in preparing these policies and programs, as adults might think they know what was best for the youth. However, he said that if the youth did not respond or find that these programs did not resonate with them, then the programs would be a failure and could even end up being counterproductive. The people of Terengganu will get a chance to travel on the high-speed train on the East Coast Railway Link or ECRL tracks, and they may even get tickets subsidized by the operators. Council of Eminent Persons Chairman Tun Daim Zainuddin said it was only logical for the high-speed train to make several stops in Terengganu, as it would be constructed on the tracks originally proposed in the earlier agreement with China.
Tak ada perubahan.
Stesen, tapi yang untuk stesen penumpang,
Dia yang banyak penumpang. Lepas itu dia ada one is for cargo. And then there's joint penumpang dan cargo ada. Tengok stesen semua banyak report. Saya tak ingat semua. Tapi memang tak ada perubahan. Tak ada perubahan, maintain. Okey. Ada apa lagi? Rakyat Terengganu tidak perlu besar.
Speaking to the media after attending the Bicara Darul Iman, the first series of discourse programs for invited guests and senior government officers with the country's influential figures at Wisma Darul Iman in Kuala Terengganu on Sunday, Tun Daim said the tickets without subsidies will cost 500 ringgit each in order to break even, but the government is most likely to make it affordable. He also stressed that the ECRL is built for the rakyat, and as such the tickets will be subsidized. Tun Daim also revealed that one of the most significant concessions that the Malaysian government won from the Chinese side is that local participation in the construction of the ECRL. He said through the current negotiation, the participation of locals will be increased to 50% of all works compared to the previous 30% of only civil works. Adding to that, he said that the side industries such as homestays, food, transport and retail will flourish with the resumption of work on the ECRL, and entrepreneurs as well as businesses, both big and small, will have a much bigger pie to sink their teeth into. Tun Daim also urged the people of Terengganu to start thinking of new products, new services that a state can offer not only to the rest of Malaysia, but consequently to the rest of the world. Commenting on the defeat suffered by the Pakatan Harapan in the Rantau by-election on Saturday, Tun Daim said the people had made their choice and every party needs to respect that. He also urged all Malaysians to give the PH-led government some time to explain and fix all problems caused by the previous government.
you know, as expected.
I mean, give them another 6 months.
Another 6 months.
Saya bukan kerajaan. Saya bagi pandangan macam you bagi rakyat, mewakili rakyat.
Another 6 months, Tun.
Yeah.
Another 6 months that kerajaan.
I think so. I should be able to do it. Go back, explain to the rakyat. Rakyat ni bukan susah. Kalau tak boleh buat, beritahu kata tak boleh buat. Beritahu dia apa sebab. Mesti ada sebab. Takkan kalau boleh buat tak mau buat ya. Kalau tak boleh buat mesti ada sebab, bagi tahu kepada rakyat pasal apa tak boleh buat. Itu yang penting ya.
PKR Vice President Zuraida Kamarudin has rubbished talks that Pakatan Harapan PH's defeat in the Rantau by-election was due to its choice of candidate. The Housing and Local Government Minister said the unfavourable outcome was a sign that the Rakyat is still in shock over the change of government which took place 10 months ago.
Start di Malaysia, kerajaan baru yang mengambil alih berdepan dengan banyak PRK. Yang ini adalah PRK yang ke-7 dan sedangkan ada ke-8. Pada saya, ianya adalah satu keadaan yang rakyat Malaysia dalam keadaan cultural shock. Pemindahan kuasa tak selesai lagi, ada PRK dan sebagainya. Jadi saya rasa ini adalah satu fenomena temporary. Kerana kita sebutlah we are in a politically cultural shock.
Speaking to the media after launching an anti-Aedes Gotong Royong campaign in Ampang, Selangor, Zuraida expressed hope that the Rakyat will soon realise the positive changes brought about by the new government in the country. Police have detained 2 men for allegedly stopping and inspecting a police patrol car during the Rantau by-election on Saturday. Negeri Sembilan Acting Police Chief Dato' Muhammad Mat Yusof said the duo were detained at about noon at separate locations. The first suspect is a 52-year-old car salesman, while the other is a 36-year-old lorry driver. Both are ordinary members of a political party. Police are still looking for 3 others believed to be involved in the incident. The incident occurred at about 6 p.m. in front of SJKC Chonghua, when the patrol car was facilitating traffic in the area. 5 men then stopped the vehicle and forced the 2 police officers inside to open their boot on suspicion of electoral fraud favouring another party. The video of the incident has since gone viral, with many online comments calling for stern action against the culprits. Preventing civil servants from performing their duties is a serious offence under Section 186 of the Penal Code. Those arrested can face up to 2 years imprisonment or a fine of up to 10,000 ringgit or both upon conviction.
Catch the auto segment every Friday on Nightline! Woo!
When we come back, only 35 out of 200,000 e-hailing vehicles sent for inspection since April 1st. Details up next. Welcome back. The PKR B40 health screening program for the poor will start nationwide on Monday. Health Minister Dato' Sri Zulkifli Ahmad, in announcing this on Sunday, said its main focus was to foster public-private cooperation in assisting the bottom 40% of society, B40, by prioritizing free registered private general practitioner or GP services for them. In a statement, he said qualified recipients can undergo health screenings at GP clinics that display the PKR B40 sticker. As of last Friday, 423 GP clinics have registered under the scheme, with their addresses accessible online. At the same time, he said other GP clinics are called upon to register themselves online and become PKR B40 clinics. The Health Minister said to start off, PKR B40 will begin its testing operations phase, where the Ministry will evaluate its logistics and obtain feedback from all stakeholders involved. He said the phase will continue until the PKR B40 is fully launched later on. 4 benefits awaiting the recipients are medical examinations for hypertension, diabetes, kidney problem and cholesterol issue, medical aids such as artificial lenses to fix cataracts, wheelchairs and hearing aids, an incentive to complete cancer treatment, and transportation fare incentive of 500 ringgit for patients in the peninsula and 1,000 ringgit for those in Sabah and Sarawak to seek treatment at a public hospital or clinic. The The scheme, involving an allocation of 100 million ringgit, is to benefit 800,000 recipients of the Bantuan Sara Hidup (BSH) aged 50 and above. Only 35 of 200,000 registered e-hailing drivers nationwide have brought their vehicles for inspection at the Computerized Vehicle Inspection Centre Puspakom since April the 1st. Puspakom Chief Executive Officer Syukur Ismail said this could be due to the conditions set by e-hailing operators that the drivers need to apply for the Public Service Vehicle PSV license and take up the PSV training first before sending their vehicles for inspection. Syukur said that this was not necessary as the government had already waived the sequence order. He added drivers can come to Puspakom to do their inspection first and get the PSV license and training later.
Pemeriksaan kenderaan Puspakom telah bermula untuk e-hailing ini telah mula dimulakan pada 1 April yang lepas sehinggalah tarikh penguatkuasaan yang ditetapkan oleh kerajaan iaitu 12 Julai 2019 ini, dalam tempoh hampir kurang daripada 3 bulan sampai sekarang, dan kita untuk beri sedikit statistik setakat 1 April sampai 10 hari bulan April ni cuma walaupun telah diwar-warkan, walaupun telah diberitahu pada semua penggiat-penggiat ataupun e-hailing driver dan juga operators, jumlah kenderaan yang hadir seluruh Malaysia cuma 35 unit saja, kenderaan saja. 35 kenderaan untuk seluruh Malaysia.
Syukur said this at a media briefing session on the e-hailing vehicle inspection operation in Petaling Jaya, Selangor. He also assured that Puspakom had enough capacity to conduct e-hailing vehicle inspection nationwide. Hence, he advised e-hailing drivers not to send their vehicles for inspection at the 11th hour before the enforcement in July.
Yang penting sekarang adalah bergantung pada e-hailing punya pemandu dan juga operator untuk datang segera ke Puspakom untuk pemeriksaan. Jangan tunggu sampai terlalu lewat sampai tarikh 12 Julai itu. Itu akan menyebabkan mungkin kesulitan untuk mereka sebab kemungkinan bila terlalu banyak datang pada penghujung tarikh itu akan menyebabkan kemungkinannya kesesakan dan akan melambatkan lagi proses untuk mereka.
In the meantime, drivers who have not attended a course or have a PSV license can undergo inspection at Puspakom first. Puspakom has 25 scheduled visit sites and a network of vehicle inspection centres covering 54 out of 56 permanent outlets and more than 30 mobile inspection vehicles for e-hailing vehicle inspection. Effective July 12, 2018, the Transport Minister has been regulating e-hailing services through the SPAD Act 2017 Amendment and Commercial Vehicle Licence Act 2017 Amendment. Starting April 1st, e-hailing drivers must apply for the PSV licence that are approved by the Road Transport Department. Drivers have to undergo a 6-hour training session at driving centres and pay up to 200 ringgit for the PSV licence. They also must get initial and annual vehicle checks at Puspakom, pass criminal background and medical checks, contribute to SOXO, purchase e-hailing add-on car insurance, and equip their cars with safety equipment, including fire extinguishers. The estimated cost to complete the requirements is 800 ringgit. In Selangor, a group of underage motorcyclists were held by police for riding their motorcycles in a reckless and dangerous manner in Kajang early on Sunday. Investigations revealed that the teenagers had used their parents' motorcycles without permission. Body checks were also conducted on 123 individuals during the operation, which started at 9:30 p.m. The operation also saw police issuing a total of 157 summonses for various offences, including for registration number, which did not follow specifications, not possessing licence, as well as modification of vehicles. Over in Johor, a 10-month-old baby died after the car she was travelling in with her family was involved in an accident in Johor Bahru early Sunday. The baby's parents, meanwhile, were seriously injured in the 1:15 a.m. accident. Police probe revealed that a Mercedes coming from behind collided with the family's car, which was on its way to Taman Tampoi Utama from Stulang Laut. The 43-year-old Mercedes driver who escaped unhurt is being held to facilitate probe. Coming up after the break, thousands of Indonesians cast their ballots in early voting. See you in a while. On to the foreign front now. Overseas voting for over 2 million Indonesians took place on Sunday, with some 60,000 registered voters eligible to cast their votes in Malaysia. A total of 255 polling stations were opened from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. at 3 locations, including the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Kuala Lumpur. Though thousands of Indonesians living in the capital crowded the embassy area from the start of the day to fulfill their responsibilities, the situation remained under control despite the fact that there were crowds of voters eager to support their candidates. The Royal Malaysian Police personnel were also deployed to help control traffic and on-site security. At the same time, some 3,000 registered Indonesian voters in Pulau Pinang, Kedah and Perlis cast their votes on Sunday at the Republic's Consul General in Georgetown, Pulau Pinang. Indonesians are also casting their votes in Johor Bahru, Kuching, Kota Kinabalu and Tawau. This year's presidential election sees Joko Widodo, fondly known as Jokowi, defending his position for the second term with his new partner, Ma'ruf Amin, who is gunning for the vice presidency. The duo are up against former military chief Prabowo Subianto, who partners with former Deputy Governor of Jakarta, Sandiaga Uno. Over 190 million Indonesians are expected to vote this coming Wednesday in one of the biggest elections in the world. Finland may usher in its first leftist prime minister in 2 decades in a parliamentary election on Sunday, as voters fret over the future of the generous welfare system as the cost of caring for a rapidly aging population rise. However, if opinion polls are correct, the left-leaning Social Democrats' ability to govern may be hampered by a surge in support for the nationalist Finns party, riding a wave of anti-immigrant sentiment sweeping the Nordics. A survey commissioned by a public broadcaster showed the Social Democrats could win top spot with 19% of the vote, giving leader Antti Rinne first shot at forming a government. The Finns are running second with 16.3% support after scoring rapid gains since the start of the year, when cases of sexual abuse of minors by foreign men emerged. With the European Parliament election less than 2 months away, the Finnish ballot is being watched in Brussels. A strong result for the Finns party could bolster a nationalist bloc threatening to shake up EU policy making. Still to come, Pahang stay in touch with Super League leaders following a hard-fought win. Stay tuned. Sports football, the 2019 Super League now. Pahang moved to just 2 points behind leaders Johor Darul Takzim after claiming a 2-1 away win over PKNS FC on Sunday night. PKNS were the first to open the scoring after 15 minutes through Vatanaka Chan. The lead did not last long when Dixon Nokwame equalized for the visitors in the 25th minute. Z. Eduardo was the hero for Pahang as he provided the finishing for an inviting cross from the right side in the 76th minute, giving Pahang the 2-1 win. With the victory, Pahang now stand in second with 21 points, while PKNS remain in fifth with 12 points. And the football action wraps up Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look at this clip of a newly unveiled tomb of a 5th dynasty official in Egypt. With that, I'm Raymond Goh.